Hello, hello. We are here tonight with Jhorden Tennyson from season 9 of Survival Challenge. How you doing tonight, Jhorden?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
We're doing well, thank you. Co-hosting with me tonight is Isaiah. Thank you, Isaiah, for as always being a great addition to the SC family and team. And Jhorden, why don't you just say a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Well, hi guys. My name is Jhorden Tennyson. I currently live in San Marcos, Texas, but I just say Austin because it's the most known city. I am a recent graduate from Texas State University, no longer a college student. The last time you met me, I was a college student, guys. I've grown up.
Congrats.
Still working. Thank you. Still working at American Airlines, just enjoying life, traveling, and enjoying my youth while I have it.
Awesome.
Amazing. All right, well, Jordan, let's get started. In the beginning of your journey, whether SC was your first notice of an LRG, or maybe it wasn't, how did you hear originally about Survival Challenge, and what were your initial thoughts when you found out that something like this existed?
So Survival Challenge was the first ever LRG Survivor game, anything that I'd ever heard of. I was just a really big Survivor fan. And one day my friend Chad had sent me the Instagram, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is..." And so he convinced me to play, to apply, and he applied as well. And we both had our fingers crossed that both of us would hopefully get casted. We obviously didn't. It's a different Chad, not the Chad from our season. Um, but yeah, he was the one who introduced me to just the live game community. And once I had applied, I got casted. I think like a month later, I ended up meeting Lance at a Survivor watch party in Washington, D.C. And I was like, oh my God, like this is Lance. Like I watched him play. And he told me a lot about the game and just really pumped me up. And I've just been hooked ever since.
So, other than meeting Lance, once you heard that you were going to be in the cast, were there any stories that you remember, or things that you did to get ready, or fun things on the way to Macomb, anything along those lines?
Once you guys sent me that email, I immediately started preparing. Um, I preparing for the game, I lost like 40 to 50 pounds within like a
Wow.
4 months, 3 to 4. I can't remember the time frame that I had, but from when I got the call to whenever I played, I had lost that much weight because I was like, I need to prepare. Like I took this game very serious. This was my CBS Survivor game. And so I wanted to be in the best shape that I could. I practiced puzzles, which are my downfall. Um, and I just prepared my mind, prepared my body, everything. I kind of forgot the question.
No, you're right on it. Things you did to get ready.
Yes, I did a lot to get ready. And my fire making, I was at home making fires every day. I lived in an apartment at the time with a wooden patio, which I probably shouldn't have been practicing fires on a wooden patio, but I most definitely did. And then whenever I got to the game, I couldn't even make fire. So that was crazy. But yeah, I did a lot of preparation for Survival Challenge because at the time, like I said, that was the only LRG that I had even known of. And so I had one chance and I was gonna take full advantage of it.
Awesome. I love it. But hey, to be fair, we did have a lot of rain our season. So making fire, wasn't really possible.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so during our season, you know that our season started a little bit differently than any other SC season that had happened. So, what were your first initial thoughts and feeling when you stepped out of the car that you were in to your group of four? What was going on? Can you kind of like paint a scene for us a little bit?
My mind was all over the place. Once I stepped out of the car, I remember pulling up and just seeing everybody like lined up in the cars, but no one could get out yet. And I'm just like, I'm texting my mom. I'm like, oh my God, like it's happening. Like I'm gonna play. Like I'm just getting excited. And I get out the car and we're walking, and I'm like, first person I notice is Missy. I'm like, it's not right. Is that Missy? And so I'm getting giddy. I'm like, there's no way I'm playing with Missy Bird. And so it was a lot of excitement, but I had to hold it in because of course I'm playing Survivor and I don't really know like if I should geek. Well, I didn't want to geek out, but like I didn't want to show my hand too early. And so I was very excited. I was ready to start playing like immediately, but I knew that coming into the game, you kind of need to like take your time a little bit, but you also don't want to take too much because we're only out there for 5 days. Um, And so just very excited. I couldn't believe that I was out in Macomb. Like whenever I got dropped off at the Starbucks after I had flew in, I was just thinking, I was just like, guys, I'm really finna play Survivor. Like, and I'll probably do all of that all over again. But just excitement.
Yeah. What are any of your favorite memories from your time in season 9?
One of my favorite memories by far is the last night that we were out there, the night that should have been filmed, but it was so much going on. That was one of my favorite nights. I felt like we were really, really, really playing Survivor, like all the sneakiness and sneaking out of camp and, having conversations here and there and being able to connect and meet people that I hadn't even met yet within the game. And so that was one of my favorite memories. Another one was also there was a challenge where we had to like pull our team on a log when me and Jason pulled our team across the pond. And that was one of my favorite memories because I felt like such a badass whenever I did that. Yeah.
Well, since you kind of mentioned one of your favorite challenges, are there any other favorite challenges that you have or memory of from our season?
Um, I would say another favorite challenge is, being able to just get our winner, Matthew Brinkley, pushing him off of that mat. That just I just feel so much excitement every time I think about that. But that was most definitely one of my favorite challenges. Almost all of them were my favorite because it was so much fun. I was there to have fun and I had a great time.
So after the game ends and all of that happens, did you walk away from the field with something that you learned about yourself or new connections that still mean something to you today?
Oh, I've most definitely made a bunch of connections. Me and Isaiah, like this, love him. A lot of people within our season I still talk to this day, and we played what 2, 3 years ago. Um, but I'm definitely glad that I played. I made a lot of memories with those people. I learned a lot about myself because there were times where I was like, why am I doing this? But I pushed myself and I pushed my body, and I was very proud of myself in the outcome. Like throughout the season, I was like, I don't know if I have what it takes to win. And I think I had told Isaiah this, which was a mistake. But I kept thinking, I was like, I don't think I can win. And like as the game continued, I'm like, wait, like I think I can win. But I learned a lot about myself and I'm very proud of the game that I played. I obviously would have loved to have won, but like we have an amazing winner for our season and he is a great representation of all of us. But yeah, I loved every bit. I learned a lot about myself.
Love it. I love it. All right. So we are very, very close to this game.
43 days. Hard to believe.
That's crazy. Even from a production side, I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. Like, I don't even think I'm prepared yet fully. But what are your thoughts as we're getting closer to unfinished business? Because kind of how you were just talking, it seems like you do have a bit of unfinished business to handle. So, what are you
Mhm.
what's going on? What's going on in your mind?
I think a lot, like it's a lot of excitement, especially because I was casted very late in the process. So a lot of it, I'm still very excited about everything, and I'm still thinking about, you know, how can I better myself within this game. Um, can't believe it's coming up that soon. I can't. Why did you say the date? Oh my God.
That's my
Oh,
job. That's what I do. I stir
oh
the
my
pot.
God. Right. Thanks, John. I appreciate it so much.
Just in case you
Um,
forgot from 2 years ago, right?
right. Oh my God. And it's gonna come by so fast too. I'm already knowing. I forgot the question now. Thanks.
Well, what are your thoughts like coming like leading up to the game? Like, what's going on in your mind? What do you, anything
Um,
there? Like, how you feel?
I honestly, I just want to go out there and play the best game that I can. I feel like I still have so much left to give to you guys and to show. Um, I'm just very excited. Just very excited. I just feel like I can play now that I've grown up a little bit more and I have my mind has matured a lot more. There's more that I can give to the Survival Challenge community, to the fans, and just to the game, period. So I'm just very excited to show y'all the new Jhorden 2.0
Yeah.
and to settle my unfinished business because that I do have.
One last bonus question. We're going off list here. If you could give us one word to describe how you see yourself approaching or playing unfinished business without any explanation, what would that one word be?
That's a good question. A good question. One word to describe. I would say confident.
Hey, we're here with Baltazar from season 9, and I'm joined again by Taylor and Isaiah, who are co-hosting all of our interviews. And we'll be out there in the field doing live stream and after show and all things video. So, Baltazar, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, sounds good. Hi, Baltazar Benavides. I currently live between two places. I live part of my life in Philadelphia and the other part here in Houston, where I am today. I got married last fall and my husband moved here for work. So I split my time between the two, and in between, fill it in with as much fun as I can have, as well as a little bit of work here and there when I need to. And I'm just excited to be here talking with y'all today.
All right. Well, Balthazar, let's take it back to 2022 or before. How did you originally hear about Survival Challenge and what were your initial thoughts that said, yeah, I want to do that?
I was looking for music for this like little video I was making, like survivor music. And I was searching for that on YouTube and I somehow stumbled into an episode, like one of those like watch next video holes that I just kind of stumbled down. And the next thing I knew, I was watching Survival Challenge from one of the past seasons and I was like, what is this? What is happening here? And I was completely caught up in it. And I was like, could I play this? Does this still happen? Is this still, the footage looked a little older. I was like, could this still happen? And I found out that like weeks after stumbling upon this, their next season was starting. And so I watched some of the Facebook stream. That would have been season 8. And then applied, a couple months after that and ended up getting lucky enough to play the next summer.
Well, do you have any funny or interesting stories of things that happened leading up to your initial participation in SC?
Oh, not a ton of interesting stories. I will say that I did have to call John the morning of the game starting because I was meant to catch a train into Macomb and get picked up. And I called John because I had gotten to the Amtrak station, like 13 minutes before my train boarded and they wouldn't let me on. And I was, as somebody who travels on Amtrak a decent amount for work, I couldn't believe that. I had never heard of like a 15-minute window. And they were like, there's no budging, there's no room. And so I called John and the first thing he said is like, please tell me you don't have a travel issue. And I was like, well, it's not an issue, but it's a change of plans. And I was able to get like one of the last 3 cars at the rental station and drive my way to Macomb from there, which, was just a little tone setter of like, don't think that you've got anything figured out, and have some fun along the way and just enjoy whatever trip unfolds in front of you because you're not going to have much control of it.
All right. Well, you got your little rental car all the way to Macomb. So paint the scene for us. What was going through your mind the minute you stepped out into the dirt?
Yeah, the minute I stepped out, well, I realized it was raining, and then they were checking our bags right away. And like in my head, I was actually like a little nervous about like, is that shirt count as the right shirt? Do these shorts count as the right shorts? I was really in my head about it. I was like, I don't want to get pulled last second and hand my spot over to somebody else. But I recognized that in my group, there were very few of us. There were only 4 of us in my season, all wearing yellow, and I was told to wear yellow. So I was just starting to take it in and realize how small the grouping was, in fact, seeing that there were only 4 of us. And I was like, yeah, expectations gone. Who knows what I have in front of me, but I'm going to be wet figuring my way through it. So embraced the rain and was just getting really excited to start. And I will say, I recognized a face in getting started in Denise, who started on my grouping. I recognized her from Survivor, and I was like, I can't wait to play with Denise. So that was a really cool welcome to the game.
I'm sure I could probably maybe pick a couple of these, but I want to know from you personally, what are some of your favorite memories from your season? And then are there any particular challenges that were your favorite?
One of my favorite memories is actually night two. We had finally gotten our tribes. And so I was in OG Chapa and we were like getting settled back at camp. We had just done like a little water challenge, running like cups of water back and forth. And it was the first time where we were like told we were a tribe. We had buffs. It was just like that first like bottled moment of the survivor experience that I've always wanted, and I just thought was so cool. And like we didn't have a fire going because everything was damp, but there were 8 of us like trying to find our place under this tarp, getting settled, tying knots here and there. And it was just like it was a really beautiful transportive moment that just felt like I had completely forgotten anything else, and I was just living the survivor fantasy and dream in the moment. That was a really cool moment. I will say another one that sticks out, maybe answers the second question there too, Isaiah, is a favorite challenge for me would have been the alumni challenge in our year, because for our season, the losing tribe, like whoever had the fewest points, went to tribal council at the end of reward day. That night they were going, and our next were on the line. It was between us and one other tribe, and it came down to the wire. And I think that was the first taste of like, oh my gosh, the stakes of this game are here and in our hands. We can taste them. It could not be more serious. And that kind of like adrenaline rush and like it, and we did pull through. We ended up getting safety. We won, or we didn't win, but we edged out that other tribe in that challenge, which was enough. That's all we needed to, luckily. And so we all got to go retire back to camp and spend the night together. So that was like the first real rush of adrenaline of being in the game, and to win all together. It was just like a very connected, energizing moment.
Well, are there any particular challenges that you're hoping to see or not?
I'll tell you what, I'm not hoping to see Connect 4. That did not go how I wanted it to go. Oh my goodness. Our tribe couldn't figure out, just like, hey, if you just put the 4th in a row, you win. We could not figure it out for the life of us. So I would love to avoid that again. And is there something I'd love to see? Maybe the Samotion one, the spinning one. We stumbled through that, as I think most tribes did our season. It was in like a tribal version. That I actually like kept trying to play that afterwards, but I never got a chance to. And I feel like that'd be a fun one to try. I don't know how nerve-wracking it would be in like a real the stakes are there kind of moment, but I think that would be a really fun version of the game that I've seen enough to where it'd be cool to live out a little my own version of it. That would be neat.
So post our season, were there any takeaways that you got from SC from our season, like things that you learned about yourself, connections that you made with people, anything like that?
Yeah, I think post SC, I really just walked away with just the reminder to like put your name in the hat for something that you want to do, something whether that's small or large. Like, why not give yourself the chance to be told no by other people, and especially for an experience like SC that really is just like so humanizing and connecting and fun. It's just like it really, at the end of the day, it is a game about having fun. And you get to share that game with a lot of wonderful, interesting people. Why not, pursue any chance you have to have some more fun? So I feel like that kind of like that stuck with me leaving SC, and it's a big part of why I am coming back. I just want to have more fun. I want to have a great time, and the fantasy of getting to be in that game. I mean, it's happened exactly once for me in my entire life, and so the chance to get to enjoy it a second time, how could I say no? So
All right, well let's jump to where we're at 3 months. You said like 69 days, John.
Something
So
like that. Yeah.
something like that. So what are your thoughts? Well, give us a peek behind the curtain as you get closer to unfinished business without giving away too much.
a peek behind the curtain. I if you had told me how many days there were, I would have told you like 200. I have shocked to hear how few days there are. If anything, I think I'm like, maybe you should start putting some more miles on the legs, get a little ready for it. I have not been in too much of a training mode, although I'll be ready. I will be ready. I guess I'm just like, I need to lock into to player mode in some ways. Or maybe I don't actually. The more I say that, I've had a really transformative start to this year in many ways. That's like helped me step back and see what's most important and what's not. And in doing so, I think I've realized that like I want to have a great time. I know I'm gonna have a great time. I'm gonna have a lot of fun. Um, but I just really want to make sure that I'm like absorbing the moments as they pass through in the game. It, like I said, it is so rare to get this chance once. To be gifted it twice just is um it's unthinkable, frankly, to get the chance to do this twice. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that I go in not just living it and experiencing it, but I want to really soak it up while I'm there, and be able to carry what, regardless of how it plays out, will be, you know, a temporary journey. I want to be able to carry that and revisit that temporary journey over the time after the game ends. So if anything, I just want to get my mind right to absorb and enjoy the game. I definitely want to try to remember everything that happened in my season to see if it might help me out this next time around. But I'm just excited to meet so many new people and to have a great time in the game that I know a lot of people put a lot of work into making a reality. And yeah, just take it one step at a time.
Isaiah, would you like to take the?
Yes, and one final bonus question for you. Give us one word with no explanation how you're kind of planning to go into this game, how you think you're going to play this game. One word, no explanation.
One word, no explanation. Noticing.